Hey friends, Costume Summon is here, and there are some new costumes. So I'm gonna just run through some of them. The secondary ones, so that you can see. I can share some of the thoughts, and you can see some value. But for starters, no summons today. I've been collecting all these keys for a while now, but still, costume Quintus hasn't shown up, and neither has the secondary costumes. I'm talking about even this guy, Leonidas. But okay, I think tomorrow I'm going to do the pull because I want to complete the Fated Summon if I can to get Tarlek. But that's not the topic of this video. Let's get into the new heroes that are available and worth going for. So we start with this chick, Domitia. We all know sweet Domitia. So this is active, the classic family bonus, which reinforces attack, defense, and healing for heroes depending on 2, 3, 4, 5, which means season 1 classic heroes, which means they all now are being pushed into play by the game, which is actually heartening because they've been literally forgotten. I mean, I realized that I don't have a single season 1 5-star leveled up to a plus 20. It's shocking, but okay. Well, I came when season 3 arrived almost, so I ended up getting those. But that's again diversionary. Going into the costume bonus, so it becomes triple because there are now 2 costumes plus the regular hero, so 3 times. 15 attack, 15 defense, 20 health, and mana stays at 5%. So that was capped at the previous. Otherwise, it should have been 10 when we tested in beta. But I think based on feedback and maybe the game thought, let's not make these fellows crazy and give special benefit to the players. So capped. Otherwise, the season 1 fellows will have become really cool. Going into the special, apart from Domitia being barbarian, main one being a ranger. No, rogue, the first. And this is first costume being a ranger and this chick being barbarian. Going into the special, Dark Bolt. Now when I look at the numbers, it's 838, 805, 15, 51, all 3 in tune with the latest heroes that are popping out. In fact, better than them. It's crazy. Okay. What does she do? Deals 335 damage to the target and nearby enemies. So very powerful hit 3. Hero, target and nearby enemies get minus 64 defense against dark for 4 turns. Wow. Well, from minus 56 it goes to minus 64, so she becomes an elemental defense down. Against holy characters, this status effect becomes uncleansable and lasts 2 turns extra. Deals extra damage against holy. Wow. I mean, she is the hero to take against the holy fellows. And becomes absolutely useful against titans and also any event or for that matter overall gameplay because she hits 3 with this kind of an attack. Survival is fantastic with that kind of a defense and health. Wow. Well, I guess the chase is on. I never paid attention to her first costume, which means whereas this one will get leveled up at top speed. Wow. She's cool. And I like the graphics also. This graphics is, okay, when the game came, this was quite cool and hot. And then later on, even this was cool. And this is also good graphics. These days, actually, we've had some pathetic graphics. Especially some of the costumes that we are testing in beta of season 3. I mean, they look weird. So this looks like a pleasant one. And, there's a lot of golden part, the costume bonus being goldenish. And this one, classic family cup. Fantastic. Like that. Let's go to the next fellow. Alkanem. Nobody liked him. This This is the part that a lot of people did not like, even though the stats are like insane, very tanky. But let's look at the latest secondary costume. So, Paladin compared to Cleric and Barbarians, I think it's roaming around that. And now with three heroes, I mean, the hilarity increases. This is the same, we know this. Going into the Lunar Spear, the special, fast speed, simple. 230 damage to all enemies at 805 attack, 871 defense, and 1514. All three stats are pretty good. After that initial damage, which is damage to all enemies get minus 50 degrees of any healing received for 3 turns. This effect can't be cleansed, is where the real pain lies. Well, Alkanen becomes relevant again as a green hero, nature hero. I think I don't need to say too much beyond that. Let's go to the next one to keep the videos as short as possible. And, oh man, I don't like the graphics, very skeletal and weird. So Horgal costume. He's slow, but look at that HP. Oh gosh. So this wizard talent will create a higher whack based on the buffs opposite. Many people liked it. I remember when I started the game, I really liked this. I wanted to get him. When I got him, never used him. Didn't give him one feeder. Then got this costume. You know, the costumes that players are not going to use, the game gives that in abundance. And let's see whether I'll use this one. So 750, 787, 1784. So the first two are okay. Nothing great. But that HP is very high. He's slow. I mean, without the first two, the last one doesn't give much benefit, honestly. Unless he's giving out some crazy ass minions, which he's not. We know that much. Deals 260 damage to all enemies. All enemies get minus 31 attack, which further increases. All enemies get minus 24 defense for 4 turns. Again, all enemies receive 212 damage over 4 turns. So that's about 53 rather, over 4 per turn. So doing a lot of things, but I don't think so anybody's going to pay attention to this one unless you are a new player or a free-to-play player. And this hero becomes absolutely fantastic. So again, it depends on player to player. Whereas I see Domitia being used by practically all players who get her because of the unique advantage that she brings. But certain other heroes, there are better alternates, faster alternates, more impactful alternates. And this fellow is doing a lot in terms of defense down and attack down, but not very high. Hit all is cool, so maybe, you know, some relevance in I would say Rush, but again there are other options in Rush, nature options. So not too impressed, but that has nothing to do with this latest card, just the options in the roster. But again, as I've said, relevant, but more than this fellow is relevant. So, you know, in the nature family. Now I have to quickly see who else is new. I have spoken about this chick in an earlier video about 6-7 weeks back, so I'll skip that. We are waiting for the secondary costume of this fellow for the mindless attack, just to get the satisfaction of being able to give mindless attack. But he's slow, so will be relevant in Rush mainly. This fellow's costume should have been brought out much faster. Small giants. This is absolutely stupid. I spoke about her also last time. There are secondary costumes on the way of some more 4 stars. Spoke about him also last time. I remember, I spoke about him. Yeah, this fellow. Her secondary costume is on the way. Yeah, there are no surprises. So I guess that's about it. Or did I speak about this guy? Okay. I don't remember speaking, so I'll just cover it. So Magni costume, secondary costume is Rogue, which becomes really pain in the ass. So Reviver, minion creator, Rogue. Crazy stats when you look at it. Wow, look at that. Base stats of attack. Insane. This is a little more balanced. And the strike of the underworld. So 285 damage to the target nearby enemies. That's good at that attack. Target nearby enemies get minus 64 defense against special skills. So this is very specific against special skills, not against a direct tile damage, but against special skills. So if it's a fire damage of 100, there'll be minus 64. So its impact will be much higher. So water damage, much higher. Bleed damage, much higher. So all those kinds of special skills is where the whack happens. And minus 64 against special skills, poison damage, or various minion damage, which are specials of minion heroes, that might also get impacted. So that's that. So nothing great shakes. I think this one, but then it hits wall. It hits one, and this hit 3. So see a relevance of this guy in tournaments, no, in events. So that's that. I don't think so there's anything great except these two fellows popping up. She's the great takeaway. So good luck for getting her, and congrats for getting her. I think that's about it. And be careful about not overshooting the 100, which seems to be still happening for some players. So be careful, and see you in the next video. Cheers.